You're graded for a math course. The exam reads, Eli purchased 5 pounds of apples at a price of 50 cents per pound. How much did he pay for the apples? On the paper you're grading, a student has written 50 divided by 5 equals 10. He paid 10 cents. Write a note to the student explaining what they did wrong. So let's talk about one thing that it talks about in this method is you want to look at your solution and see if your solution makes sense. So you purchase 5 pounds of apples and it's 50 cents per pound. And if you're purchasing 5 pounds of apples and you pay 50 cents per pound, paying 10 cents would not make sense because um, that's less than 1 pound of apples. So you would know that automatically that doesn't even make real world sense. So that's kind of one thing you could see. So what we would say is you might say a couple things. Make sure your answer, should have been writing this down, makes sense. So like what I mean by that is apples are 50 cents per pound. So 5 pounds of apples would not be 10 cents. Okay, so that's just something we've got to get right off the bat there. That answer does not make sense. Okay. So now what we can do is they divided here. So what we need to do is so you want to keep track of units. You might tell them this, keep track of units. And what I mean by that, let's look at this. 5 pounds of apples. So let's start with there. 5 pounds of apples, and it's 50 cents. I'm going to put 0.5 actually for 50 cents per pound. So it'd be 50 cents per pound, or for 1 pound. Okay. And so what I mean by keep track of units is I look at these here and I notice that I want this in terms of how much you're paying. So I need the dollar amount to be my top unit and my pounds will cancel. So I can multiply here. If I multiply, the pounds will cancel and then I'll have 5 times 50 cents, which would be $2.50. And so that's what I mean by keep track of units. Okay. If they would have kept track of units, they would have realized that the pounds cancel and it's in terms of the value I need, which would be money, and that which would match what they're looking for in the answer.